President Biden wrapping up his trip to the G7 summit and shifting gears as he's now in Brussels to meet with NATO allies, also to have a face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Our own Eamon Javers is on the ground in Geneva and joins us now. And Eamon, a lot of people watching this, especially the Putin part of the equation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all coming later in the week, Becky. And what we're looking at now is the transition between the diplomatic piece of this trip over the weekend with the G7, and now the president has just arrived at NATO headquarters in Brussels, where just a few seconds ago he was meeting with Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary General, discussing the military alliance with the United States and Europe. So some important military developments there. Over the weekend at the G7, they agreed to some important items, and the G7 was very much about who wasn't there as much as it was about the 7 nations who were there. A lot of the focus on China, Russia, and of course former President Donald Trump's absence was noted particularly. Take a look at some of the takeaways from the G7 as you look at the agreement here to provide 870 million vaccine doses directly to poorer countries over the next year. They agreed to endorse a global minimum tax. They agreed to urgently identify and disrupt ransomware criminal networks. They called on China to respect human rights, fundamental freedoms, and Hong Kong's autonomy. And they reaffirmed a call on Russia to stop its destabilizing behavior. The message from President Biden was that this is a turn away from the America First priorities of his predecessor, more toward an American engagement with the world. Here's what he said.
The lack of participation in the past and full engagement was noticed significantly, not only by the leaders of those countries, but by the people in the G7 countries. And America's back in the business of leading the world alongside nations who share our most deeply held values.
And one of the most intriguing developments over the weekend was this idea of a global fund to sort of counteract the Chinese development fund around the world, that Belt and Road Initiative in which the Chinese government is enacting its own sort of Marshall Plan for the globe. The G7 countries agreed to a formulation for a similar fund in which the global democracies would finance development in poorer countries around the world. No details yet on just how that's going to be unveiled, so we'll wait for the particulars on that, but an effort here to sort of counterbalance some of that Chinese influence around the world, guys. Back over to you.
Eamon, I guess the biggest question is, this is a lot of big initiatives, a lot of big talk that they've got here, but how much of it do you think is likely to actually come through? Things like the global minimum tax, this crackdown on cyber, what they've said about both Russia and China. Is there a follow-through with that, or is it enough just to be making these statements at this point? Will it have an impact?
Yeah, that is the real question here, Becky. A lot of these agreements are sort of words on paper for right now. We don't have the details of the financing agreements in terms of that, what they're calling Build Back Better for the World, or B3W, to sort of counteract the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. We don't have the specifics on that, and the agreements, hammered out in detail. And in terms of the pushback on ransomware and the Russians, that is also words on paper, and we'll wait to see how the president's meeting here in Geneva with Vladimir Putin goes and whether they can put some force and some muscle behind it. But what the Democratic nations are trying to do here is assert that they are acting in concert, that there's unity here. The president has painted all of this as a sort of an opportunity for the world to see the democratic countries coming together and choose now between a democratic leadership of the world and sort of an autocratic leadership of the world. The president has said this is the moment now where the democratic countries are going to be pushing back against those autocratic governments, particularly Russia and China. So a lot of the specifics, you're right, Becky, still to come.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.